And that red collar beer is on tap right now at Indiana City Brewing Company.
Well, you know, Erica, with all the new flavors coming on the market, it's sometimes hard to navigate, but we are lucky to be joined by Nathan Finley. And Nathan is a professor at the Yogi's Beer School. And Nathan, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Well, we heard a little bit about what Sun King is doing with hops and beers, and we have their Osiris with us. And if you could talk a little bit about the role of the hop in this beer and what it brings to the beer itself.
Sure. Osiris uses 3 different types of California hops, West Coast hops, to get a nice citrusy floral flavor in their beer. They also use a dry hopping process, which is adding hops towards the end of the fermentation process to get some different.
We're going to taste this.
Sure.
Walk me through what I'm tasting.
Well, first you want to look at the color. It's nice, golden, light, see-through, filtered. Give it a smell. You can smell some of the hop flavors, a nice citrusy, fruity smell.
Really nice.
It is really nice, isn't it? Now we get to taste it.
All right.
It's nice. It's subtle on the bitterness. It's an
really
American pale ale, not an IPA, so it isn't overwhelming with hops, but it's got a nice citrus floral flavor to it.
Now, if we look at the state of craft beer in Indiana, could you tell us a little bit about what's going on right now and some beers that you might point to?
Absolutely. It's exploding right now. Indiana craft beer scene has grown so much in the past few years. We've got Upland and BBC here in Bloomington that have been making wonderful beers. We've got Cutters that moved up to Indianapolis. We've got some new Function, and Big Woods just opened Quaff On here in town. We've got Fountain Square in Indianapolis. They just opened a new beer bar in Indianapolis with 130 taps.
And then we've got 3 Floyds.
And 3 Floyds is the be-all, end-all Indiana brewery right now.
What we have here the move to looking to the trends moving forward. What can we look forward to? Because we brought the founders Rubeas with us, and this beer, as I understand it, has no hops whatsoever.
That's right. It's a really interesting beer. It's to replace their old Osiris, which was a cherry fruit beer. This is a raspberry fruit beer. Most of the alcohol is produced from the sugar from the raspberries as opposed to the sugar from the hops from these other beers.
So as we taste this, could you tell me a little bit about the difference between, this is a malt beverage, correct? And then we also see sours coming on. Is there a significant difference between the two?
There is a significant difference. Sours will have hops in them. This has absolutely none, but this is really very similar. Fruit beer. This is going to be a little sweeter. It's going to be a little less tart.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the lambics in some ways. Is that a fair comparison?
Yeah, those are fruit beers. Those are going to have a little bit more hops too, but absolutely a fair comparison.
Now, as someone who loves their beer, what really is standing out for you right now if you had to pick one that you really enjoy?
The 3 Floyd Zombie Dust is just amazing right now. On the beer rating website, it's in the top 10. Of the top 250 beers in the world, so it's really wonderful.
Well, Nathan, we appreciate you spending time and actually sharing these beers with us here today, and we know that there is so much more to discover, and you can learn more about the Yogi's Beer School by visiting yogis.com.